Hello everyone. In this session, I would like to discuss about event looping in JavaScript. How my event looping is going to work means it is working as an interface between my call stack and my callback queue. What is call stack and what is callback queue? I want to explain first. Okay, let's just write call stack. It contains what means the execution flow. One function, if you want to execute, okay, line by line statements are going to execute, right? Those statements they are going to execute inside the call stack. Okay, just you can write one function. For example, one function is that function f1 is there. Inside this function I have one message like console dot log of one is there. That has one more message is there, console dot log of two is there. Now this is the function you created, just you load it. Now when my execution is going to start whenever you call the function. Yes, if I call this function inside my console, 1 and 2 is going to print. Okay, after that nothing will print. Yes, my function execution completed. Like this you can confirm. So how it is going to print, who is going to take care of these particular statements execution means my call stack will take care. How my call stack is looks like means, let me open the page first. This is my call stack. This is my call stack. First you are calling my f1, so that my f1 method is going to register here first. Register here. My f1 method call is going to register here. This is the method. F1 method call is going to register. Once my f1 call, okay, then the time inside my call stack, one statement is going to load. Which statement? My f1 execution till it is running. Okay, it's not yet done. Okay, here my console message is going to print or not. Like this, it's going to print my console message, console.log of one. This is the statement. Once this statement is going to execute, okay, inside my call stack, there has one more statement. Still my F1 function running, execution not yet done. Now this is my F1. This is my F1. The next statement is what? The next statement is like the second one. This particular one execution completed. Okay, next level, the next statement is going to execute. Okay, next statement. Okay, what is the next statement? Here my F1. Here my F1. Okay, the next statement is like my console.log of 2 is going to load or not. My console.log log of 2. Okay, see. First I call my function f1. Okay, these all are like call stack only, you can say. Okay, don't think like these many stacks are going to create. It's like one stack only. I'm showing like different ways. This one, first my f1 call. Once my f1 call, you are calling what? One of the statement in my f1 method console.log of 1. Once my one printed, it's going to remove from the stack. Okay, now the next statement is going to load here. Once this next statement also completed, then that time that particular console.log of 2, that statement also will remove from the stack. If it is removed from the stack, it looks like this. Now finally, this is looks like this. Now come here. This is my f1. Okay, this is my function. F1 you can say. This is my f1. Okay, once my execution is going to complete it, my 2 is going to print inside the console. Finally, you have the f1. Okay, no statements, nothing is there. Simply my f1 also removed from the call stack. So finally, my call stack is like this. It's like empty call stack or not. Finally, my call stack like this. There is no call stack, nothing. It's like an empty stack. Okay, inside the call stack, what you find here means the execution flow. First one method you call. Okay, inside the method, one statement loaded in the call stack. That statement execution is completed. Okay, and then it's going to remove from the call stack. And then next statement. Once that execution is completed, it comes to the next one. Okay, so all the statements execution is done inside the function. So finally, that function also removed from the stack or not. This is like a call stack. This is like a call stack. So my event looping, it is working. Event loop, it's working like an interface or it's like a job. Okay, it is just monitoring your call stack and callback queue. It's like a job. Okay, monitoring what? My call stack and callback queue. Okay, I want to explain this for event looping by using one simple example. So that let me open the console, open the browser, create open the new tab and open inspect. Okay, you can inspect it, open developer console window. Okay, just wait for some time, it's going to open. Sometimes it takes some more time, I don't know why. Okay. It's open. It's open. Go to my console. Okay, I want to write one simple function. Okay, just answer this. What is my output is going to print? F is my function. F is my function. Here, my console.log of 1. The console.log of 1. After that, I have one set timeout. Timer is there. Okay, this timer I already explained in my previous video. Just go through the video. Now come here. Come here. You can give some time. You can give some time. Okay. After 5 seconds, 5,000 milliseconds is nothing but 5,000. Okay, it's like milliseconds. This particular callback function is going to call. Here, I'm going to write one message like console.log of. Okay, here you can write one more message like console.log of. This execution flow, I want to explain you by using event looping. Where exactly my event looping come into the picture, I want to explain. Now see, if I click on this one, yes, my function loaded. If I call my function, see, one printed, one printed, three printed. My set timeout is like a asynchronous one. It's okay, fine. My timer is going to run. After 5 seconds, my timer got completed. Then my callback function is going to call, and it's going to print my console.log of 2 or not. It's like expected output only. You can say like first one, it's going to print. After 5 seconds, only this block of statements will execute. So that meanwhile, this particular 3 is going to execute. Okay, I agree with you. But here, if I change the code like this, if I change the code like this, change the code like this. Now also my output is what? Output is like what? Here there is no timer waiting, nothing. Still, my 1 is going to execute, and then my 3, and then only my 2 executed or not. And then only my 2 executed or not. What internally happened? I want to explain about this piece of code. About this piece of code. Come on. Now first, I want to call my function f. Yeah, I called it. If I call this one first in my call stack, okay, here only I want to write in my call stack, first my f1 is going to load. Yes, f1 is going to load. After that, which statement is going to load? After that, which statement is going to load? My f is like this only. Okay, one statement. My console.log of one statement is going to load or not. Once this statement execution is completed, now my stack, okay, here my console.log of 1. Once the statement execution is done, in the time my stack contains what? F. Okay, nothing is there. My stack is stack console.log of 1. This statement is completed. Now inside my stack, the set timeout method is going to load or not. Here my set timeout method is going to load. Inside this one, my set timeout method is going to load. How it is going to load? Like this. My set timeout. My set timeout method can understand by browser. Why? Because this method is inside browser API or web API. So that my browser starts execution. This method starts execution from my browser side. It started its execution. Set timeout method. Set timeout method, it's take like some timer as a second argument. So that okay, now my browser starts a timer. Browser starts a timer. Okay, once my set timeout execution is completed, okay, my browser starts timer is nothing but yes, my browser will take care of this stuff now. Okay, timer, how much time it is going to take? Okay, my timer is going to run, countdown is going to start. For example, you are going to do like 5,000 milliseconds. My timer start like okay, 5,000 milliseconds, 499. Like this timer countdown is going to start. Countdown is going to start. Okay, it is run in the background, takes care of my browser by using browser API or web API. Okay, so that my set timeout completed now. Only my timer and this part only takes care of my browser now. Once my timer completed, okay, time completed, time left completed, okay, this callback function is going to execute. Okay, when it's going to complete, it takes some time. So meanwhile, what happened? Okay, once my set timeout is completed, it's going to remove from the stack. My set timeout is going to remove from the stack. Okay, here you can write like my f only because set timeout removed. After that, in my stack, okay, the next message is what? My console.log is going to print. Console.log is going to print. Okay, here once my console.log statement is going to execute it, okay, yes, my 3 is going to print inside the browser. Meanwhile, For example, my timer I said like only 10 seconds, 10 milliseconds or 0. There is no time, nothing. If my time completed by browser API by using browser, managed by browser, once it is completed, this particular callback function not moved to my call stack. This callback function not moved to my call stack. Once my timer got completed, this callback method moved to my callback queue. Moved to callback queue. So how my flow is looks like means now see this new. Don't save it. This is my call stack. This is my call stack. Okay, this is my callback queue. This is my callback queue. Okay, here I have the event loop is there. Okay, event loop is there. Now here the statements and everything is going to execute one by one. First my F1 executed, and then my console.log is going to print it, and then my set timeout, and then my console.log of 3. Like this. This is my F. Okay, first you called this method, and then one more statement is going to load like this, and then my set timeout is going to load, okay, and then my console.log of 3 is going to load, and then my console.log of 3 is going to load. Okay, see this. Now once my set timeout taken care by my browser, it reads your timer and everything. Okay, it reads your timer, how much time you given. Okay, it's countdown, it reads your timer started. Okay, countdown started. Once my timer completes, okay, that means my countdown completed, okay, time left completed, then that particular set timer callback is there, right? CD comma time here. This callback method, once my timer started, once it is completed, my timer got completed. Okay, completed. Once it is completed, now this particular callback method moved to my callback queue, and this is my call stack. And this is my callback queue. This is my callback queue. Now once my timer started, okay, it is completed, my time left is completed. Now my callback method moved to what? My callback queue or not? Move to my callback queue. Here is my callback now. Here is my callback. Okay, once this particular pot, okay, this pot running in the background, okay, browser will take care. Okay, this pot browser will take care. Timer starting and completed and move it to my callback method, to my callback queue. Everything is taken care by browser using web API, or browser API, you can say, using browser API. Okay, now once the timer is going to run in the background, okay, now my call stack thought like, yes, my set timeout got completed. Okay, go to the next statement. What is my next statement? Console.log of 3 or not? So my console.log of 3 as usual it's going to execute. Now once my console.log of 3 executed, my call stack is like empty or not? My call stack is like empty. Okay, meanwhile multiple statements are there. Yes, okay, multiple statements are going to run inside the call stack. Once my call stack is like empty, then that time my event loop, this is my event loop, it's going to monitoring. Okay, just it is going to monitoring. What it is going to monitoring means my call stack and my callback queue, both it's going to monitor. Okay, whenever my call stack is like empty, then that time it's take this callback and move it to my call stack. Okay, it's take your callback and move it to my call stack. Okay, this is the way it's going to work. This is not happened whenever, for example, in my call stack there has some statements are running, then that time my event loop is going to wait. Hey, inside the call stack something is running, just wait. Like this, any number of callbacks maybe you can expect. Here one callback, here multiple callbacks. Once my call stack is like empty, first callback, okay, the next callback, it is going to move. My event loop is going to move your callbacks from my callback queue to your call stack. This is the way my event loop is going to work. It's simply working, it's a job. Okay, monitoring my call stack and my callback queue. Whenever my call stack is empty, whatever the callbacks are there in my callback queue, those callbacks move into my call stack to execute. That's it. This is the way it's going to work. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.